What up, barflies? You already know who it is. It's Big Dan.
Hey.
Rodan, I'm coming to you live from the
Rodan.
215, your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes. Here to welcome you to the Blerd Bar. Rodan. That's going to be my other tag.
Rodan.
Rodan.
Roadhouse.
Got him.
The pre-show has already been wild, and
Yes.
we haven't had a drink.
Yeah.
But I'm not by myself.
Never ever.
Never ever, because who better than my friends here on the couch? Talk to them.
Big comfy couch.
Hey.
Hey y'all. It's the last descendant of Yasuke. Sub over dub for all anime.
Yep.
Salsa Dancer Ninja, stay on his toes.
Take
Got a sake flight ready to go. It's your boy Hawkins Hanzo.
Caw.
Pterosaur.
Bulbasaur.
And to my left, you know him, you love him.
Here is Kenny Sparks, the official, unregistered Democrat, my nigga. What's up?
I thought you were gonna say M.
So many. It was all the red flags were like.
I was like, he's been talking to Candace
Oh,
Owens.
my
What
God.
is going on?
Candace
Oh, my-
Beto.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, she's not. I gotta wait her on.
Oh
What's
my
crazy?
God.
You said Big Comfy Couch, and
Mhm.
it immediately made me think of Alison Court, who's also the voice of Jubilee in X-Men 92, but not in X-Men 97. Because you know what we don't do anymore is represent voice actors
Do we?
based on the races. of
Here's the
characters
funny
they play.
thing.
No, you can't.
Did y'all know that Jubilee was Asian when y'all were watching 92?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had not a clue. I had not a clue.
What would...
I didn't think she was anything because I was a
I mean,
young
she
one.
was also
She was a
portrayed...
youngling.
You know, she was racially ambiguous.
Nah.
Racially ambiguous for the fact that, like, you don't see her parents after the first episode. They
What
don't
do you-
really talk about it.
She's an orphan. They were
But
adopted.
no, everyone else kind of had like an
Adopted.
aesthetic, right? Cajun, you know, Southern drawl, Canadian, bub, you know, stuff like that.
I don't know, bro.
She was played as like
I'm
the
like
all
watching
American
it now.
kid
I'm
in the
like,
90s.
no, I still
Exactly.
think she's Asian.
When I think All American, I think Topanga. I think white.
I get it.
All American, for their definition of it.
Their definition of it. But also, I guess like my knowledge of comic books always kind of like aids me.
Gotcha.
Puts a little
Gotcha.
guardrails on there. I'm like, I know where they're from.
Speaking
Kitty
of people
Pryde is
who
Jewish, you know,
were
things like that.
thought to be Asian, or actually they are Asian. Another person I thought was Asian, or a person I actually did think was Asian, was Terry McGinnis. I
Terry
s-
McGinnis, like Batman Beyond?
Yes, I
He is
swore
Asian,
up-
ain't he?
It's been debated. It's been
I
debated.
thought his mom was
I
stuff.
thought
I
he was
swore
Asian.
he was Asian.
He's like half.
He's got to be.
Well, technically, because he's a clone of Batman.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like half.
Do we want to talk? We shouldn't, because that's not the subject of tonight.
It's not
But
subject of tonight.
Bruce Wayne in anyway,
He didn't do the
peace.
clone.
he
He didn't do it.
Waller
oh,
did it.
It was Waller. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Waller was Waller.
Yeah.
You wish he had a microphone, right?
No, I just wish he wouldn't say things sometimes.
The shots fired at the strays that the producer is getting.
I thought he smelled.
I thought he smelled good. It's weird the way vibes be changing. I'm keeping my hat, nigga. You can't take this back.
You goodness. All right, y'all. Look. we
Welcome to this
obviously
unhinged podcast.
right. We obviously don't have a cocktail. We might have a commercial edit. We might not. The week is early as of right now. So
Mhm.
if it happens,
It happens.
Time on my hands.
anywho though, talking about some content.
Content.
Did you guys see the Acolyte trailer?
I did.
I did.
What you think?
Underwhelmed. Not like, oh my God, it's gonna be awful. They putting the women's in the Star Wars. But
so
underwhelmed.
so not MAGA, but like
Not
just
MAGA.
underwhelmed.
Not MAGA. Just
It's the way you said the
whelmed,
women's.
Underwhelmed and MAGA.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
yeah. Basically, so I'm just underwhelmed. I would like to see it be good, but so
Mhm.
far it's like it looks all right.
Mm.
My thoughts are this is a risk by way of Star Wars They're taking a big jump to have a untested female lead and play on the.
She's not untested.
She hasn't been a character in Star Wars yet.
Oh,
yeah,
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. Untested by, like I said, for Star Wars, this is a risk. Not saying the actresses aren't superb. Carrie Ann Moss she's been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
But, I do think when you know your target audience and how volatile and
they were like, you don't like black lead
and
women?
racist.
Well, guess what?
Right. And all the is and isms that they have, it'd be like,
why do it to yourself?
Why do it to yourself? But also be like, come correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they did not come correct.
Sure, but my thing is, if they do this,
Obi-Wan? With Reva?
Yeah.
Ooh, no.
Riva was fine.
The lines,
Well,
the lines weren't.
Yes. Yeah. There was. Yeah.
Her whole arc was just not good.
So is that what you're worried about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want a Riva part 2?
I don't, because you ever be like,
Riva
I always
the
think
prequel.
about the Tyra clip.
Mm.
Like we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you, and I'd be like, I know that the majority of Star Wars fans are not people who look like me or look like the people who star in these shows now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I hate being a Star Wars fan sometimes.
They be like,
But
MAGA.
they gotta get over that.
Dude,
Nigga, we got aliens, we got androids.
right, but they're fine with it. They're fine with us being.
Fuck a Twi'lek than a black.
That's
one.
what I'm saying. They fine with othering us, not us being in the same room.
Centered. Yeah.
Not even centered, like on the same level. That's why Finn brought so much like angst out of people.
Well, you have to be an exceptional Negro, like
We'll get there.
a Samuel L. Jackson.
We'll get there.
Some might
No one
even
would
say
ever complain.
magical.
Right.
But no, I think
They're in the lead.
right. I think I'm intrigued with it. I will say that once again, I think whenever another Star Wars IP drops, it's always going to be like, but like, why are we dealing with the past? But like, I'm just learning to get over that now because they're doubling down.
I mean, everything in Star
down.
Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Sure.
But here's the thing. Here's where I'll give the show credit. They are going to the past, but they're going so far back in the past that
It doesn't
we
touch the
should
Skywalker
not
saga.
have to hear the word Skywalker at all, right?
But is that the only way to get past the Skywalker thing? You think that's the only way?
You can either go all the way back or you can go all the way forward. Because if you go across the galaxy, it's like, wait, can't Luke get over here just on the ship or something? Like, people are going to find a way to put him back.
Gotcha. I see what
story. Thank you. Yeah, so that's why I think some people like Baby Yoda, some people don't, but I think it's a good opportunity to use him by setting it 300 years in the future
because he's
he'll
still gonna be
grown or young.
He's gonna be like an adolescent.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
and then you can get rid of all the characters that you had before. He'll have that past, but it won't be connected. There's ways in which you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, 3 generations is normally how long it takes for you to forget somebody.
Yeah. And my one criticism of the trailer is it's called The Acolyte. It's about the Sith. It's about the main character, Amanda. I forget where her last name is. That's the name of the actress. She was the least shown and the least explained person in the teaser. I know it's a teaser, but for a teaser for a show about her, she was in it the least.
Hold on, because they showed the powers or whatever. I think they showed a lot of the action scenes that you're gonna be like, ooh, like this drawed me in.
Yeah.
I think for me, just with the trailer in and of itself, it seems cool. It seems different because we're doing it from the villain perspective.
Right.
Allegedly, we'll see how far that
goes.
goes.
With the teaser, all I heard and saw was Jedi.
Right, but like
Sith aren't
maybe
necessarily villains.
We're not gonna get into that. That's
the typical
some
antagonist.
Candace Owens stuff.
Yeah,
But what I will say is,
Look at me, nigga.
You see the Sith?
Eye contact on me, nigga.
Eye contact me. Once again, I think the biggest thing that I really don't like about this series already going into it is that it's 8 episodes. And I was like, stop it.
She does not.
12. Just do 12.
She does not come into her own until the 8th episode. That's just how this is working.
Yeah.
Normally now, production.
She seems pretty trained in the trailer. That was like a minute long, right?
Well, thankfully, the Disney trailers are typically the first episode now, which is great. They do a great job of like not showing you the entire show.
But yeah, I just think 12 episodes should be the norm. Because
10 to 12, I would say.
Not anymore.
I think
Netflix is being very clear that.
Well, this is Disney,
but streaming is very clear now. In general, you get 10 episodes or less. Because even Game of House of Dragons is what, 6 episodes? It's only going to be 6. I think it's going to be 6 this season.
What?
Didn't hear that.
They've been doing that.
I know, but it's still like you're going to give me 6 and disappear for 2 years?
Yeah.
They got a lot. They got a lot to do.
It's a lot of work.
They got a lot to do.
They're busy.
Dragons are way more prominent in this new season. So.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because they say that, and then
oh yeah,
they said that last time.
But yeah, so I want to be hopeful for the Acolyte, but the 8 episode thing, I was like, I know that the pacing. I'm wondering that I'm banking on the pacing being off. Also, I feel like, what was it? I feel like Mandalorian was the only Star Wars property that's done it right.
Done what right?
Just exist.
Andor?
Andor was okay.
Andor is fire.
Andor, I would say would be like second.
There's always this method that I feel happens with the streaming shows, especially Star Wars, where first episode gets you, second episode exposition,
story.
Third episode we travel to a different place.
Yeah.
For the sake of traveling to a different place.
Yeah.
Fourth episode trash. Fourth episode is doo-doo garbage.
Yeah.
And then fifth episode they're like, maybe we need to pick this back up again.
Reveal.
Create some intrigue, betrayal scene, something like that. Someone said, "Oh, you said a mean thing to me. I'm gonna go to this part of the galaxy."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "No, wait,
You hurt my
episode 6,
feelings.
come back." And then like there's all these things, and then the 8th episode is always like, everything's good now.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Right. And then cliffhanger, and you're like, why couldn't you just be straight with me the whole time?
Right.
Do we like Ahsoka?
I like Ahsoka. I don't love
You
Ahsoka.
mean
The show.
Yeah. I like it. I enjoyed it. The weird thing about Ahsoka is I spent more time complaining about it than I did praising it, even though I enjoyed it.
what was it? Rebel season 6? This is what that was?
Allegedly, pretty much.
That's how I felt.
Allegedly. But they made so many strange decisions that, like, for example, spoiling Ahsoka is old, right?
I think they're fine.
Yeah. For example,
Anybody rocking
in
with
the
this?
final 2 episodes, why doesn't Sabine just tell them that the Empire's here? I'm just like,
Bro.
what are you doing?
Why are we just?
Oh, we can talk about that later. No, that seems important.
It's like, bro, like that's real important because like he's about to go back and wreck everything,
Yeah.
and you don't even love this man. You just find him to be a good little brother,
Right.
Like, come on. I wholeheartly
he just
agree.
showed up.
No, I wholeheartedly agree that Sabine was a sore point for me
Yeah.
in that show. But that being said,
Well, you guys are looking at me like we spoiled something.
what you got?
I just will not participate in Sabine's slander only because I feel like it's low hanging fruit. So I was like,
Let me clarify.
yeah,
The actress did a phenomenal job participating in the role that she was hired to
right.
do.
But I'm saying Sabine as a character,
was just like, what are you doing?
I
man?
almost block it out of my memory because this doesn't feel like the Sabine of the other show. Like,
Exactly.
Which is
I totally
weird
agree.
to me.
I totally
because
agree.
it's written by the same Negro or
But-
non-Negro, the same white man. It's written by the
But
same
I
person.
also feel like that also applies to the other characters as well. Like Ezra wasn't like, let's get off this planet ASAP.
Well, he didn't know that Well, he did know that Thrawn, but like Thrawn was stuck with him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's on this planet with Thrawn, and he's not like, yo, we need to go. This man's been doing zombie stormtroopers for a minute. Yeah. Like,
fair enough,
bro.
That's a big part of the story.
So many things were happening that I was just like,
fair enough.
They're like, oh no, they've grown, they developed, they've made choices.
Sabine and Ezra were both like very like hang out, bestie, hang out. Like,
you want to go camping, bro?
Yeah. And this has nothing to do with
so long.
Actor like dying, but the continual tease of Balin was like, what's he here for? What's he looking for? Oh, he's going to tell us next episode. It's like, all right, peace out.
Bro said nothing.
He didn't do anything.
And the only thing that really makes him menacing is the fact that he like resurrects the Force gods. Is essentially what his.
Wait, are you spoiling stuff?
No, that's the theory. Is that he's going to be resurrecting the Force gods. Yeah. Have you watched Rebels?
Yeah.
So you know, like
ages ago.
One of the Force gods was in Rebels, right? And so she's now gone.
Was that Rebels or Clone Wars? I think it was
Clone Wars, right? Because that's a part of Ahsoka's.
Right. But isn't a piece of that in Ahsoka?
Yeah, and because it's broken, he's able to bring chaos by way of the other two.
Yeah,
the father and the brother.
The brother
and
the daughter.
I get that would have been season 2, and they are doing season 2. But it was a continual. I'm here for something. I'm here for something. I'm here.
And we never
something.
got that reveal.
Yeah, you had.
But I think the big reveal was Thrawn.
Right.
Yeah, but we got that in episode 3, 4.
Because
and also Thrawn was dope.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. But I also feel like, you know what I mean? Like, you can only do so much with a man who's trapped on a planet.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to go so we can start stuff up.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you also know that, like, Force Awakens still has to happen. So you're like, all this is pointless.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? But we got to move on.
We do have to move on. I'm sorry. But, so that was cool. House of Dragons trailers.
Shout out to the marketing team. Because they did 2 trailers.
Yeah, which is dope. I love that.
And they really wanted you to be like, pick a side. And I'm like, well, not picking your side.
Right.
Like,
what's your side?
Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
The only side to pick.
She's the rightful queen.
Rhaenyra is like blondie or redhead?
Yeah,
really?
That is the only side to
side
pick.
To choose. It's either MAGA or no, I'm joking.
There's no side.
You gotta go, bro.
There's no side to choose because the whole part of the Green Squad is they are conniving and have done everything that they can to undermine what Viserys had laid out.
I disagree.
They didn't?
I feel like
at every turn?
I feel like Green Squad, if you're starting with the girl, she was caught in a real effed up position and played her cards.
Ooh, this is Fox News. I like this.
But the other girl, she has been conniving. She has been doing what she ain't supposed to be doing.
Rhaenyra?
Yeah.
She has done nothing but say, I'ma chill and let them rock. Leave my sons alone.
Right.
What they do?
Eat his son. Eat her son.
What did they?
Whoa.
She literally was like,
okay, that was wild.
That's what I'm saying. The war starts because of that.
And the boy on
but wasn't he talking reckless?
No, she was like, I'm sending you to go send a message. He's like, all right, listen, by a message from my mom, we chilling. Go be great.
No, but didn't he start with Bull who ate him?
No, they always picked on him. They were picking on him.
Why did Bull,
I don't remember that.
Who ate him lose his eye because he was being a bully.
Right. And then went back to his mom and was lying.
Someone retired.
Oh, because he's a strong man.
Right.
He's such strong man. Yeah, nah. But see, that's what I'm saying. They've been antagonizing. Rhaenyra ain't get her kids.
No.
Yes.
The other kids were the antagonists.
No.
Yes,
he
ate Green and who's black?
Green is redhead and the strong men, right?
Redhead and conniving
blondie kids,
uncle, and blondie kids, yeah.
Because Rhaenyra's sons is technically not the Bulls.
Oh, Rhaenyra. See the hair colors have been messing with me. So all right, you got Matt Smith.
Yep.
Yes. He wild.
Yeah.
The bull who looks like little Matt Smith.
Which is which is her brother, is Rhaenyra's brother on the other side.
Yeah.
Stepbrother, half brother, whatever.
There's a lot of incestual situations going on, so it's confusing.
It's hard. The bull who lost his eye.
Yes.
Whose kid is he?
Redhead, green.
He's redhead.
He's green team.
He's green team?
He's green team.
They
bugging.
Yep.
Dang, so then Rhaenyra didn't get her kids in check. Because her kids have been poking at strong men. Yes, they have.
No,
he was like, you're such a strong man. You're such a strong man because of the bull who slept with Rhaenyra.
Yeah, but that was none of their business.
Yeah.
So?
They were talking mad
bullying.
out of order,
He was talking slick. He lost his eye because of it.
Yeah.
Right, but then he then he retaliated. What I'm saying is Rhaenyra should have. Oh, not Rhaenyra.
I keep forgetting.
Redhead.
Yeah.
Should have caught.
Can we get her name correctly?
Yes, we agree on that.
Yeah.
We thought you were talking about Black.
Because the hairs were like throwing me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah. So yeah, no.
Hightower.
Hightower should have got her kids in check.
Yes.
Because they was wilding.
And they continued to wild.
Right.
Rhaenyra's they're the only ones.
Rhaenyra was like, yo, I'm just trying to have my kids. I'm just trying to like bang my uncle and like be out. And they were like, no.
You don't talk about Bruno.
All right. But we're excited for season 2.
It's what you were trying to say.
We're excited, but like I think it's just wild how like
they
all this slander.
Recap episode.
For y'all. This lives up here rent free.
I wish I had. I want to say I have the time to like watch it and
you
like.
Do. It's 6 episodes.
The first season?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's only 6 episodes.
It's like a week. You're
it's
serious?
longer than that.
A week watching?
Is it? Hold on, now you're gonna be bugging.
All right, well,
go ahead.
Y'all tell us. Down in the comments.
10
below.
episodes.
That sounds a bit more right.
Okay, yeah.
First season was 10 episodes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be fine. I can go back and do that.
That's so funny. All right, we're gonna jump into some culture.
Okay.
All right. First up, Kendrick Lamar. Like that verse.
I do.
Oh,
wait.
Boo!
He needs
you can
to
leave
leave
with the producer. Just kidding.
I thought he smelled.
He has the best. I thought he smelled good, man.
I'll tell you my thoughts, and then I want to hear your thoughts on it. First listen, I had not listened to First Person Shooter.
Okay.
So then I listened to First Person Shooter, and then I came back, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That being said, the heat that was on the Control verse versus the heat that was here, I don't know. Not that similar, I don't think. And maybe it was just because of, like, he dropped so many names in the Control verse that it was like, oh, snap, he really, like, out here, like, out here. But that being said, on the flip side of that, you could say that this was because it happened so soon after First Person Shooter. Yeah, it was like very much like a direct like he heard First Person Shooter, started writing, and then somebody was like, I'm featured here, and they were like, oh, okay.
Are you talking about the Joshua Neal? Did you see the Joshua Neal TikTok? Where it's like Future's like, all right, this is a good song, man. I don't need no features, and he's like, you sure about that? And then Kendrick like comes from the shadows. He's like, no, I heard the beat. It's fire.
Because the funny thing is, Kendrick is not on topic whatsoever.
Not on the song.
What the hell he want to talk about?
That's yeah. So
I got beef with Drake and J. Cole. So let me on the song.
Like Metro is probably like.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything, but since you're here now.
Since you're here, I mean,
somebody got like a phone call downstairs, was like, "Hey, yo, Kendrick's downstairs," and he was like,
"You want to make a track? Yeah,
you want to hop on?" He's like, "He got some fire bars."
Yeah.
No one vetted it. It was just like,
because if Kendrick says he wants to be on your song, you let him get on your song.
I mean, it's Future, right? What is he going to rap about? Because I listened to Future's verse first. I'm like, because obviously that's how you get through the song, and I was like.
I definitely skipped ahead, I think.
No, I'm listening. And I was like, I'm waiting for the heat to come, and I was like, what is this? This is like what makes me realize like I'm an old soul with hip hop, and I was like, I don't vibe with any of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kendrick gets on, and I'm like, this is not the same song, is it? I'm reading the lyrics, and I was like, when did it change?
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. I heard the verse before I heard the song. So when I started the song, I was similar to you. Like, is this the song with the beef on it?
Right.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. It'll be interesting to see, because also though, I will say I do think that this is more friendly competition as opposed to.
It doesn't.
I don't think friendly competition is the word.
No.
I think it's the opposite. I think
like
it's
him and J. Cole, because didn't him and J. Cole like do like a couple features together?
Shooting at anybody.
This is not gang war dissing. This is not Eminem Benzino.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's very much like Kendrick's like, you're not in my league.
Right.
You don't think it's like I'll do this and like, hey, come back at me, like.
No.
I think there's what the hip hop aficionados who I've been listening to recently have said is on the first person shooter verse when J. Cole says, it's a big three, Ken blah blah blah, but I'm Muhammad Ali. That implies
that he's the greatest.
The greatest.
Yeah.
Like, it's three of us, but
I'm him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when Kendrick hears that, he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
A challenger as a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, motherfucker.
You
it's just Big Me.
You immediately adopted it. I was born in it, molded by it.
Yeah. And then also, another thing that hip hop aficionados have said is that now that Kendrick's not on TDE anymore, where they probably tell him, hey, you don't need to do beef. He's out here free range, just
being an artist out here.
About things I don't want to talk about.
Like I said, it's him walking up to a studio and be like, I heard Metro and Future in here. Hey yo, y'all rapping in here? Mind if I hop on real quick?
Right.
It's like, all right, cool, I guess.
That's funny. I think the interesting thing will be like, I think that it's interesting starting a beat from somebody else's song. At some point, you have to put out your song. Like your diss track.
I don't know. I don't think Kendrick has to.
That's fair.
Well, if there's going to be responses, he can't just feature on other people's songs all the time.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Someone says something.
If J. Cole happens to like respond, or Drake,
I don't know.
Happens to respond.
I don't know if it's going to go that far. Like, I feel like Kendrick's one of those kind of people who's going to be like, I said what I said. That's it.
No,
that would be whack.
Because
but
there's no one in the hip hop game that's going to be like, yo, you got to get back on the track and say something back to them. Because after he said what he said, he stands on that. Like, that's it.
But here's the thing, and this is why it'll be interesting, because it's like nobody has ever. It's been a while since people have gone back and forth on tracks.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
well, it depends on who you listen to, because Eminem did that. Like I said, Benzino and Eminem are going back at it.
How long ago was that?
Yeah,
it was very recent.
Benzino
went.
Like,
no, Benzino literally went to Detroit a month ago.
No,
am I wrong about
that was
this?
back to back.
Huh?
Yeah,
but Meek never responded.
Yes, he did. He just responded way too late.
Yeah, he did.
He responded so late that you don't even know about
it. But what I'm saying Eminem and Benzino because that literally just happened like 2 weeks ago. He went to Detroit.
Oh, that's right. See, I don't pay attention.
Goes to Mom's Spaghetti, steals the sign, buys the food, and then throws it in the trash. I was like, well, you bought the food.
Right. I don't pay attention.
What are we doing?
I don't pay attention to super old head beef. That's old head.
It should be old head beef. Benzino is an old man who doesn't really have much going for him.
He ain't rapping.
He even cried in that interview with was it Drink Champs? And he's like, come on, man, stop bringing this up, man. We old men, trying to get past this. And then go and do this. I was like, well, move on.
The other beef, Nicki and Meg Thee Stallion, they went, I think they went that was tit for tat, but like nobody liked Nicki's response.
That's because
everybody was like,
she was on that.
It was garbage.
Yeah.
So like, it is what it is.
But I want people to stop putting out disses in songs that aren't fully disses. Just put out a diss.
First of all, Nicki's diss, half of it's not even a rap anymore.
Back in my day, they would title it "Get This Nigga X-Pac Diss" or something like that. I don't know why I said X-Pac, but X-Pac Diss, right? They would tell you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So you want even more
shake that ass.
I mean, hit him up is probably
a little verse in there.
It's either obviously it's going to be a toss up for me in either or hit him up. It's like one of my favorite diss tracks.
Oh yeah. Because he just started on some.
You know. And then he got like his B team rappers to then rap on it. I was like, I don't know if you needed them.
You gotta cut the track off after that.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
I don't care what they have to say.
I was like, who are y'all?
Right? Who are you? Someone was like, yeah, now Jid or JID, however you say it, gotta go after
He don't.
Keith.
Yeah.
What's the cousin of Kendrick?
Is it Keem? Lil Keem?
Like, yeah, Jid gotta go after Keem. I'm like, I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
He won't.
Even though I like Jid a lot. Like, but I don't. It's not a sports team.
It's not a sports team.
It's all entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But what's the reason we're really here?
The reason we're really here is to review.
We got Ken Sparks here.
Yes.
Hey. We don't want to waste this.
Exactly. Hey. We're reviewing the American Society of Magical Negroes.
Up front, out of 5 reviews.
I gave it a half a spark, which is a half
of a 1.
Ooh,
okay.
0.5.
We'll get to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I give it like 2.75.
Okay.
I give it a 3.
Okay.
And I guess the brights. I guess I'll go with the bright sides of it. I think subtext wise, the movie does.
Was there subtext?
There was definitely subtext.
That's the question.
There was definitely subtext. I do think there's strength in both the first and second acts of the movie that make you feel like, okay, there's hope for this film. And then the third act plummets what the remaining of my score would be.
For you, when does the third act start?
After, was it Jacob? Is the
Aaron.
Yeah. Aaron is, who's the white guy? His name's Jacob, right?
Jason.
Sorry.
Tyrannosaurus.
Jason gets announced that he's going to present for the CEO. That's where the third act, as far as beats feel in the film, that's the third act.
That's it. To me, the third act. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah.
To me, the third act happens when old black girl who told dude off gets excommunicated, because that's when it kind of gets real. It's like, oh, we gotta get it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt like the film was still there. It made like they still hadn't done like. Well, yes, because that's also the scene where we're probably talking about the same thing then. Because it's
right next week.
5 minutes apart. So yeah, I would agree with you there. But the subtext being keeping white people comfortable to just to exist. Like,
well, that's the plot of the movie,
right?
Yeah, that was very blatant.
He says it.
He said the thing.
But the subtext of it being like how non-satirical that is, right? Like, the movie plays big on the satire of magical Negroes, but this part of that concept is very much like, for me, highly identifiable. Like, workplace, most of my life until recently, where I really felt like, I guess honestly, 2020 is pretty much where I was like, nah, I'm one of y'all. Started growing my hair, got it locked, I'm here now.
I feel like here's what I felt about the movie. It felt like a movie that should have been a TV series.
Netflix vibes.
It should have been like a Prime Video original. And I think that if it's a Prime Video original series, you can flesh out some things. You can see a bit more of the magical Negro-ness of it. And I think that it is a good concept. The movie was a good concept. I feel like the execution was not great, which is why I felt like I wish that this was like a TV series, because we could like really grow.
It definitely felt like a longer Key and Peele sketch.
That and also
Key and Peele actually did do a sketch of it, and it was good.
Right. Also, it was so weird because I knew American Fiction had came out like a few months earlier, but it was such a. I was like, well, American Fiction is like winning Oscars or at least being nominated.
Yeah.
So like literally after watching Magical Negroes, we went home and I watched American Fiction. And I was like, see, this is what I was like looking for. Like this is actually like, this makes sense. And it was just so much more fleshed out and so much more complex that like it really shows how, I don't want to say paper thin, but like I think to your point, it was like it was an extended sketch, and it's like just either make the TV series or do something else. But like this ain't
like
it.
I feel that's probably where you and I meet, is like strong concepts. Definitely in the writer's room, things were sticky notes was up there, and then somebody was like, "Well, how do we make this a script and also make this a screenplay?" And that's where some of the sticky notes started falling down. You're like, "Oh no, that was supposed to go here." And Daryl Johnson was in the room because we know he had to be. But I really want to hear. I mean, obviously they can go to your page. Make sure you like and subscribe to Ken Sparks.
So essentially, I gave the movie a half of 1, like a 0.5, and a lot of it is a combination of two things. A movie can be good, a movie can be bad, a movie cannot be boring. And I found this movie to be boring. There are certain scenes in this film, especially the scene where Aaron and the love interest are walking through that park and they're having a conversation, and it was like 10 minutes.
There was no
with
music,
no score.
Yeah,
with no score.
It was one of the quietest movies of a rom-com that I've ever experienced. There was
essentially no score in the movie until like the end and in the very beginning. And from a filmmaking standpoint, it was just hard to watch.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why it got as low as a score that it got. But the other part, talking about the actual messages, subtext, and what have you, I thought that it did a bad job at being satirical. It was very, very literal. It was extremely literal. Hey,
but is that the joke?
See that.
No, I didn't find the joke. Like, I don't find the joke in you playing it that straight, because the problem with the film is that instead of taking that concept, which I agree that this could have been a well done film if it was conceived correctly, right? But I think that, or executed correctly. But I do think the problem with the movie is that it doesn't challenge those tropes. It plays into them. It's like at no point is there a confrontation where it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be magical Negroes. The thing is like, no, you're messing it up for us. And let me tell you.
But the third act is, like I said, where it drops, because they do
Barbie
that.
Speech?
Not his Barbie speech, but
that was discombobulated. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
But
where the hell did it come from? It wasn't earned at all.
Not that. I think the fact that they were talking while he was giving the speech was very
annoying. And
I'm like, who am I listening to? Like, what's going on? Like,
kind of like a podcast.
Sonically, it was very just discombobulating. And I didn't like that. One thing about the magic trope, I think it would have been fine if you would have turned it on his head. And like, actually, I have to credit my wife for this. She's like, it would have been cool if you actually saw like black girl magic or like black boy joy, like where like they change it from doing it to make white people comfortable to just being expressive and like being very creative and like, you know, fleshing that out.
And that's my issue. Like, if you're going to present this concept as an issue, but you just play into it and you never actually challenge the issue.
You never challenge the people that
never challenge it. And then you excommunicate old girl for, you lose your powers if a white person's upset.
And it's like,
what is that?
It would have been cool to even like,
who arranged that? Who made that arrangement?
Yeah, it would have been cool to go back and see that character, like maybe have magic come back to her or something. You know what I mean? Like something,
something. But she's gone. I was gonna say dead and gone, but like she's gone. And
there was that when her memories were wiped, and they were like, he was like, do you think anything bad's gonna happen to her? He's like, probably. She might be dead right now. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
The tone, there was no like haha to that.
Yeah.
It was straight up like
I think there was supposed to be, but it's like dark humor, and it's just like
there are many scenes in this
so many missed moments and misuses of like David Allen Greer and Nicole Byer. Like,
can we talk about David Allen Greer for a second?
I don't want to. Because it hurts.
He's a vet in the game. He's one of the best, like, at what he does. The scene in which he's telling the story about his father, and it ending with, "Oh yeah, and my dad got spit on, and he did nothing, and because of that, I forget his exact words, but it wasn't like I'll never be like that again." Or
no. But that's what I can appreciate about the concept of the magical Negro, because it's very much a Uncle Tom Sambo.
Well, according to Candace Owens, Uncle Tom is
not
the
Uncle
hero.
Tom. I use Uncle Tom in the
she said what now?
colloquial. Uncle Tom is actually not a bad. It should not be used negatively.
It's too late for that.
We can fix it. We'll fix it.
We'll get it in post.
Yeah. No. I'm saying as a culture, once we educate people on what it is, we as a culture will fix that, because Uncle Tom is not a negative thing, but like a Sambo is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much. That's what a magical Negro is. Like, they exist for the comfort of white people, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So there is no fixing that, because he feels that the structure of this is to keep white people comfortable. So I get that. I get that if that's what your role is in your mind and where you exist, go be great. You don't, and he does. Magical Negroes don't set us back as a culture. Because one, they're fictional, but two, on the second level, the second level is
Aunt Jemima was fictional. Like
the second level. The second point is that we've already reached where the main character is conceptually when he does that, release of anger, that echo of anger.
We're already there.
We're there.
We're waiting for him to get there.
Here's my challenge to that.
We're waiting for the rest of the magical Negroes to catch up.
Here's my challenge to that, because I believe that magical Negroes are fictional, right?
Yeah. But
I believe there's some Negroes who have magically harmed the black community, right?
I agree. I was probably one of them at one point.
So, amen.
I'm
proud of your growth.
No, I'm playing to the fact that I know that I did my utmost to be one of the good ones. Sure. I did my most to play into the fact that these white people got to be comfortable around me so I can at least breathe.
Sure.
I just want to keep my job and get paid.
Well, I think that to me, survival is different from shaping your life around, making sure that they're comfortable.
It's I can't talk to old girl because my white friend likes her, as opposed to let me not act out because I might get shot.
Well, it's don't be yourself. Be what they want you to be. Which is what I think the movie really was talking about.
That's what I thought too. But I thought American Fiction did that a lot better.
Yeah. That, number one. And number two, there was no resolution. Also, I don't want to bring it to this point. But the fact that all the dark-skinned ones were the ones who were samboing around, and we bring in a light-skinned black character to center.
Oh, it's colorist as hell. But
so the Justin Smith, he's the one.
He's the one.
He's the Neo of this situation.
I definitely feel like Juicy Smollett was on the on the call sheet for this.
Look at the person who wrote and directed it. He is of mixed race.
Yeah,
no problem with that.
Yeah.
It's not maybe that's his. Anything about it, but
maybe that's his experience, and so he wrote about it.
Yeah, but for me, it's a limited experience. It's a limited view of the black experience.
But it's his experience.
I'm not saying his experience is wrong, because your experience can't be wrong. What you do with your experiences?
I didn't leave the film feeling less black.
Nothing can make
No. But I'm saying I didn't feel it.
I am myself.
Sure, but I'm saying I didn't mind the movie, and it didn't make me feel less of a part of the culture, because I was like, this is someone's experience, and my tagline for all of 2024 is "We are not a monolith," because it's just it don't click for some people.
I want to say one thing. I love this conversation. Yeah. We could go on. One thing that I thought was at the same time interesting and interestingly cool, but kind of
distasteful.
Not distasteful, but it kind of strips the magical Negroes title and makes it was finding out that old girl was a part of the what is it? Society of
supportive
women and girlfriends.
Yeah, wives and girlfriends.
Wives and girlfriends. And so it makes it like who was really the protagonist, who was really the client, and it's like
both of them being worked like they're both on a job.
Well, no, it makes me think like, oh, was this whole movie actually her, like she was the agent working on Aaron?
Both.
No.
Hear me out.
Tell you something.
All right, go ahead. Because I'm gonna make my argument.
Here's my issue with that: the Society of Supportive Wives and Girlfriends.
Sure.
Yes, whose girlfriend was she? Whose wife was she? She was never with anyone.
She's building up to it.
No. If you're a part of the Society
the
of
scene with
wives,
no music is her being supportive.
She's supportive.
She's getting in there.
She's not with anybody.
She's like, this nigga is artistic. I'm gonna be by his side.
That's the angle.
No. That's the angle.
That's her end.
Hear me out
whatsoever.
Because if his magic was work, if he was actually
or in a relationship,
but he was about to be. He was about to be, but then White Bull was like,
that's the problem.
She found a depowered nigga and was like, support.
That doesn't sound like
we've
positive.
reached the end of the episode.
I stand by this, and I really want to make this argument because I know we got to wrap up.
Yeah, no.
But she goes and tells this nigga to go pick up yarn again and do what you love. When even me as a viewer was like, this don't work.
It doesn't.
It didn't even work as like a concept of an artist. Like he's like, I just like playing with yarn. And like, sir,
because then he made. I was like, why
he
is
made
his sweater so ugly?
The slaviest sweater. Not even a slave sweater. Like the slaves would have been like, I'm not.
I know you was running out the house, but you couldn't find anything else, my nigga.
And you slept through, and you were like, I'm gonna wear this to the presentation I got to do at work.
Yeah.
All of it. But
there were a lot of things that, So, but I think that I think so. Once again, if this was a TV show, oh my goodness, we just expanded the world. Like, let's play with this. Sure, I don't think you should call it Magical Negroes, but like that's why her being a part of that group kind of like gives less. It makes you rethink the movie in a way that gives less. He
was the client.
Yeah, it makes Magical Negroes not really the forefront in what you're supposed to be focusing on. Now you have to think about it. Oh, was it Agatha all along? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like it's.
But now it's unfortunate. Another way, we've taken the view off of the black character.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And put it on her.
That's what I'm saying.
So here we go.
But like, I think it was a cool thing, but it was an unfortunate thing that does that. So yeah.
We have reached the end of the episode. We thank you for joining us. We love you, Patreon. You will get this full unedited video. If you don't even see this part, it's because you're not on the Patreon. So you got quest item. Get a magical stopwatch. You get a magical stopwatch, and you can take phone calls from it. Quality is not great.
Okay.
But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.